Adventures in Wildwood Jungle, Part 7, The Vanishing Water Mystery. One hot morning in Wildwood Jungle, the 5 friends, Zane the monkey, Tilly the parrot, Bruno the elephant, Leo the cheetah, and Rocco the raccoon, were on their way to Coolstream Lake for a refreshing dip. But when they arrived, they gasped in shock. The lake was almost dry. Bruno the elephant stepped forward, confused. How can a whole lake disappear? Leo the cheetah sniffed the air. I don't smell any signs of a drought. Something isn't right. Tilly the parrot soared high above to get a bird's-eye view. The river that feeds the lake, it's completely dry too. We need to figure out what's blocking the water. Zane the monkey, always the climber, swung from tree to tree along the riverbank. I'll scout ahead and see if anything is unusual. Rocco the raccoon, the expert in tracking, examined the ground carefully. There are footprints, lots of them, leading away from the river. The team followed the footprints deep into the jungle until they reached a massive wall of logs, branches and rocks blocking the river's flow. It's a dam, Zane the monkey exclaimed. But who built it? Leo the cheetah wondered. Just then a nervous family of beavers peeked out from behind the dam. Bruno the elephant stepped forward gently. Did you build this? One of the beavers, Benny, nodded. We needed a new home, and this was the perfect spot. We didn't realize it would dry up the lake for everyone else. Tilly the parrot fluttered over. The lake is important to all the animals. If the water doesn't flow again, the whole jungle will suffer. Rocco the raccoon rubbed his chin. I have an idea. What if we help the beavers move their dam to a new spot, one where it won't block the whole river? The beavers agreed, and everyone got to work. Bruno the elephant used his strength to move the biggest logs. Zane the monkey climbed trees to cut vines that held the dam together. Leo the cheetah dashed back and forth, helping organize the materials. Tilly the parrot guided everyone from above, making sure the dam was being rebuilt in a better place. Rocco the raccoon made sure the river's flow was clearing up, inspecting every step carefully. After hours of hard work, the dam was rebuilt further downstream, allowing the water to flow freely again. The lake filled back up and all the animals rejoiced. Benny and the beavers beamed. Thank you for helping us find a better home without harming the jungle. Zane the monkey grinned. That's what friends do. The Wildwood squad had solved another jungle mystery, proving that teamwork, problem-solving and kindness could make Wildwood Jungle a better place for all.